Are you tired of paying full price and waiting for sales on your games? Well, let me introduce you to Instant Gaming, where seriously, that is no longer an issue. Massive discounts on all your games. Make sure you click on the link in the description and get that checked out ASAP. Do it now. Howdy everybody. Yes, you've guessed it. Manalords is coming. I've been waiting a long time for this. I played the demo and I really cannot wait for this. Now, there has been a release trailer, so what I'm going to do is go through it with you just to see what else we can see that is new and some other previous bits which were not in the demo, save some combat and things. And we'll see what kind of improvements have been made and so on and so on. So let's get started. So here's the video. What I'm going to do is just let you watch it with me, and then we'll break it down and have a gander.
You have been chosen to govern a land of great peril and promise. It has suffered long from the scourge of banditry, but there is another threat, an illegitimate baron who claims the northern territories as his own. Will you prove yourself worthy of this honor? Or will you perish by the traitor's steel?
Alrighty, so there's quite a lot there, and I'm not gonna lie, that looks exciting. So let's break it down.
You have been chosen to govern a land of great peril and promise.
Okay, so we can see already it does look like the fire situation, because I don't remember fires being that much of a big thing, and clearly the disaster has happened here. Before you could have well, but I never experienced a fire in the demo. If you have on your experience, do let me know, but it looks like things can drastically get out of control. So disasters, natural disasters maybe, a lot more of a key thing.
It has suffered long.
Combat. Now this is what we've been waiting for a long time, and this I strongly think is going to be a more simpler, less arcadey version of some of the more original Rome Total Wars, for example. I mean, there's that new Pharaoh one, which, if you've been in the loop, it's been very questionable whether that's going to be any good or not. However, yeah, looking at the video footage that we saw here, it looks very raw and a lot more realistic, which is a nice touch.
Long from the scourge of banditry.
As you can see, already, every single person looks like they have different colours and so on, so they must know who's who. But different weapons are in here, different all sorts in it. There's not much clipping, so it does look like it's been very optimized and should look very visually appealing. On some of the Total Wars, for example, Medieval 2, where you actually had the proper animations where they actually fought each other rather than just a generic swing around like in some of the later ones. This looks like it's got that element to it, so we'll see how that goes on. Archers in the background, that's very lovely. And again, still paused it. I can't see any clipping there at all, so that is lovely.
But there is another threat, an illegitimate baron who claims...
So we've already got the formations, and so on and so on. These look like basically, well, basic equipped troops. Some of them have armor on to some degree, some of them don't. And going off what the demo had, it showed snippets of manufacturing. So I do suspect that you're going to have to build certain tools with maybe the blacksmith or a weaponsmith that kind of was in there before. But you still also have the magnificent beauty of Manalords in the background. And if you look at that, there's going to be some lovely cinematic shots in this.
The northern territories as his own.
See that lightning? Beautiful. I do wonder if things like that will slow the troops down, for example, if the ground is boggy. I don't know. When it rained before, I don't think that people slowed down. It was very visually appealing, but I don't think anybody actually slowed down or anything, or so on and so on.
Will you prove yourself?
Now, this looks similar to what we already know. So, again, the background looking lovely. I don't remember seeing birds, so there might be many more features now. But everything looks really nicely refined again, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, this is obviously only a small village. In the demo, you pretty much got to do... the maximum you could get to was a manor house, which you could then, if you played with it, stuck a taxation office in there, a garrison, which you couldn't really do anything with, and a sort of garrison tower. I think that was all you could put in there. And then a bailey around it, which if you fiddled with it, you could actually get a road in there. It wasn't finished, but it was the way things were going. So there are proper defences in this game, which is absolutely lovely. And if the combat is going to be as numerous as what it looked like that we saw shortly, then they are definitely going to be needed. And I'm very excited to see how troops interact with those defences and so on. That would be lovely. Also, with that fire that we saw earlier, I do wonder if that is because of a natural disaster or a fire has got out of control, or if that was due to people raiding said village. We don't quite know, but it does look very promising.
Worthy of this honor, or will you pass?
Here. Now, as you can see, there are details. So combat has obviously happened. Again, glorious landscape. And there are people which have been stabbed with arrows and so on. Now, it doesn't look like they're just in generic places. So maybe each projectile is its own thing, which is fantastic and improves the realism. There's lots of blood and gore and things. Nobody's lost a head. And nobody's head has been splattered in. There's just a splattering of blood everywhere. But that isn't too shabby. No arms of... Maybe it's not too gory. They might need to up the rating. I do wish there was a game with... Well, where there is this, like, say, Chivalry 2 and so on, but that's just a bit of an arcadey fun game. But no, that looks nice.
By the traitor's steel.
Coming to PC Game Pass, so I'm guessing they've teamed up with Xbox and Microsoft quite a lot, so I'm probably going to be on console as well. I think I did see that somewhere, so that's going to be interesting. I do wonder how the graphics and such are going to look on an Xbox in comparison to a proper PC. Normally everything's dubbed down, but we'll see. Now, this one, already... Now, I don't remember it looking quite this refined. They may have updated the models. I do not remember any dogs being in there. I don't know what kind of use they will have in the game. I mean, traditionally, back in them days, a dog's purpose was to guard and hunt, and so on, and protecting livestock, so that might be the purpose here. Can't see people running around with them all day. Won't just be a fluffy pet that we've got nowadays. They'll all be working animals. But again, a very lovely landscape. There's no clipping in that grass or nothing. It really is fantastic. Up here, this looks already very familiar. So we have your man up there. This is clearly right at the very beginning. It does look like things haven't quite been finished, but it is. Oh, it's not even out yet. So we're still waiting for images on some of the buildings, but half the time you could still build them anyway. They just needed a bit of a doodah in there. Can't see any new resources up here. Oh, well, there is. Unless that's oxen, I'm not too sure. That's obviously a horseshoe, but we'll see. Yeah, and then we've got the combat down there and so on the map. That stuff was there before, but it wasn't really accessible. The brilliant road system is still here. I do like that. Looks a little less curvy. Maybe they've refined it. It did look a bit like someone had just smeared all over it sometimes, but no, that looks fantastic. Maybe they have made it a little bit neater. The buildings do look like they are absolutely lovely again. On the demo, I did notice sometimes it just didn't quite make sense. People will be hammering the ground and then a tent will pop up 3 meters to the left of him and so on. I do wonder if they've amended that or are planning to. So, few snapshots of the village. This looks rather wet and moist. This is what I was talking about earlier when it was a little bit rainy. You can see it on the screen, even though we've paused it. It looks like little smears because it's just off a recording. But no, that looks lovely. And she doesn't look very damp, but everything else looks rather muddy. Again, I do wonder if it will slow people down or anything. This looks different. So, you have the main line, which is something that did bother me in the first one. When you drew a area, you didn't quite know where the baseline was going to be, where the houses were going to be facing, and they clearly have sorted that now. Now, the back bit did have a symbol on it, but I don't remember it looking quite like that. Now we also have a grey area of exactly where the house is going to be, and a solid line of where the plots at the back are going to be, where you grow your vegetables and your little chicken coops and so on. Ooh, look at that. Reduce plot divisions, so you can make them a little bit bigger. Oh, look! You can have a secondary building there. That might mean more people in. That's an interesting feature. So you can opt in to have less buildings, but more people in them, so more dense. You'd have less plots, and I'm presuming that that costs less resources, so that's interesting. Again, lovely. There's lots of nice little fences. This all looks absolutely fantastic. The visuals have always been brilliant on this. Now then, a woodcutter's lodge. Yeah, we've had all that before. Don't think there's anything new in here. I think that's storage materials outside. The people aren't very happy at the moment. I don't think there's anything new there. But this definitely is. This was never here before. So, fuel, if you click on the marketplace, fuel, supply and demand, you can see 4 buildings or so on have fuel and the others don't, which means they're probably going to get a little bit chilly in the winter. And they've also got food variety. I'm trying to hover over it like it's going to pop up with something. But no, so that shows your distribution. So that is definitely, it was the thing before, but it was not as clear as day as that. And looking at the ground, that looks a lot, I don't know, it looks more flush. The rolls look a little bit more refined, rather than sometimes they looked a bit like a bit of a scribble. I don't remember this outline almost on the roads, to be completely honest. I mean, I suppose that's just a bit of rocks and so on, or people where they've strayed off the path to let somebody past. But now that looks tidy. So we saw some of this before, the church and so on. So all that. I don't think there's anything quite new there. On this one, again, that looks beautiful. But nothing new, I don't think. Ooh, new development point. Waldbrand. Okay, what does that mean? Might come into that in a second. Yeah. Aha! Policies. This was... Well, there was a button for it, but you couldn't do anything with it. So, having a look at this. It's hard to say what these are, but this one, small land tax, transfers wealth from the region to the Lord's treasury. 1 silver per family per month. So, rent, essentially, to your Lord. Presuming this one might be to do with food, maybe some rations if food is getting low. This one, that could be... That's hard to say. Maybe to do with hunting, but it's a bit specific to bears. Now, I don't think there was any bears from what I remember. Water, hard to say. That looks like a flame. Don't quite know what you do with that. Maybe a scorched earth policy. I don't quite know. Oh, here we go. It hovers over another one. Thief gives back 10% of the surplus food to the church and converts it to influence. Now, influence is a big thing in being able to get more regions. I think that comes later on in the video. And then you could have several villages at the same time, which was hinted in the demo, but not actually done. Another one, development. Again, this was hinted, but nothing was done with it. So it looks like we've got 4 different branches. This up here does look like farming and agriculture. This over here looks like the natural stuff. Also, maybe I was right with that, Paul. Maybe that's to do with hunting. This is definitely military and maybe industry. And this is more diplomacy and trade. So foreign suppliers, that gives you a new building, firewood cart, a permanent market store which provides a positive income of wood. As long as the region has enough wealth, they must be placed on the marketplace. You can do the same with food. Also, that is nice. Presuming this one is to shift your goods around. That one will be to do with your fields. This one to do with animal husbandry, maybe. So on and so on. It does look like they've gone further just by looking at some of these. We've got tannery. There'll be some improvements there. We already hunt them, but I can't imagine what that possibly is. Trapping. Yeah, bees, candles, berries. I don't quite know what that one is. It's hard to make out. But it looks like there's more variety as well, so that is fantastic. This will be military armor, and that could be mining or smithing of some kind. Very much more depth to the game now. Oh, here it is. Basic skinning. Oh, hunters are able to extract hides from wild animals. Well, they did that on the roam before, so okay. They came very much useful in clothing your people. And to be honest, you often got loads of them, so you ended up selling them. That's what I did anyway. Let's carry on. Okay, so here we go. We've got people on the marketplace with meat hanging down. Sometimes when people were carrying stuff around, it disappeared when it was on the shoulder and so on, which was quite funny. I did do a very long video where I did everything I possibly could in the demo. I'll probably stick that in a link at the end if you want to rewatch that. Let's carry on. Ooh, good stuff. Military. Okay. Slavic Knights Warband, 5 out of 12. Maybe that is total troops in there. Not very many, but they are knights, so I suppose really you'd have a knight with a load of people or whatever. You wouldn't just have a group of the best and then a group of peasantry. You'd have leaders following and doing them in. But you've got expertise, levels on different stuff, so I'm presuming attack, defense, I don't know, stamina, maybe quality of armor. That's definitely something to look at. Secretly pagan defeated foes. Don't quite know what that is, but okay. We've got armor upgrades. Level 9 armor, maybe, whatever that might be. I mean, he's got plenty on there. Got the curses, the helmet, the chain, the neck chainmail brace. He's got the gauntlet, or whatever. I can't remember all the different names of it. Basically, he's got protection pretty much in very many areas, apart from his nether regions, by the looks of things. You can customize every single little piece of this, apparently, which is absolutely lovely. I'm looking forward to this. Oh, different people. I know, it's just doing the different things. But they're also going to cost money. And then maybe upkeep of the armor, looking at that. It's hard to say. Presuming that you've got different models. I don't quite know. There's 5 different helmets there. That might be different warbands. I mean, it says 5 out of 12. This might just be the second warband. And this will be them. However many of them you have, I don't quite know. Maybe you have a total amount of 12 warbands. So 12 different units or formations, which would make more sense, actually. And that one is just what these are. Okay. Oh, look at that. Okay. So the construction of what looks like the church looks like they've played with it. And I'm presuming this goes through with many of the other buildings as well, where they've actually got a platform here, which looks like how it probably would have done back in the day, old scaffolding. So the building, the work of the building looks like it's definitely been much more refined, which is something I was trying to talk about earlier, where it just looked like someone were hammering a bit of the ground, and then a building would pop up sometimes. But no, yeah, that's promising. I would like to see people going up and down there. Presume that there are. Not quite sure what that is, but no, everything looks very nice and lovely. Ooh, military stuff in the rain. Another ruler's army was sighted, so there are other rulers. That's where the conflict comes in. I'm presuming that there's going to be some kind of bandits as well. So we have form militia. Looks like we've got 4 different bands here. We've got maybe, I can't quite tell what that is, but a shield and a mace maybe. A shield and a spear. That maybe they're just light infantry of some kind. They're obviously archers, and it looks like we're going to need 30 people. So maybe there's 30 people in each band. Maybe you'll be able to upgrade that. I'm not too sure. But it does look like you need many things. You need 30, maybe that's people. Currently 15 out of 30. 20 weapons. 20 shields. Don't need any bows. 30 spears. Oh, no, that's just a stockpile. Okay, so yeah, you need 30 spears and 30 shields. And they've got 15 people, and they currently have 20 pikes and 20 shields. Different shields. So yeah, you're going to have to make all of this. Oh no, that's a pike. That just looks like an axe. Not quite sure what that one is, but you got crossbow, bow. That, I'm not too sure what that is. Maybe that's arrows. It's hard to say, but you're going to have to pay money. Mm. Oh, here we go. Oh, new militia unit, Archer Militia, Waldebrand. So that's the town. Okay. Here we go. Oh, look at this. Right, so we've got armed people running towards the town. Now, they might be there for raiding, and if it's just one or two people, maybe they're going up to the formation, but maybe they are just going in. Maybe you can split people off. It's hard to say. All right, here we go. So, looks like we have our formation. There's 10 out of 30, and it looks like you could give them a general goal there. We've got armed people running into the town, presuming that they're going to try and murder people and burn everything and give it a good pillaging. They're just bushes. I thought they were bodies then. These lot don't seem too bothered at the moment. Let's carry on. Yes, I was right. So in the beginning of the video, when they had a load of fire, I presume that that is from combat, because if we look at this here, raiding. Yes, that looks lovely. Well, not for the townspeople, but you know. And we have some definite combat going on. These look like bandits. They're all hooded. Doesn't look professional. Even the militia, you can see that the typical militia of this kind of era would be a fat shield and a bit of a stabby stick. So yeah, these look like the militia, and these look like the bandits or thieves or whatever you want to call it. This man has been whacked pretty hard, and his blood has been spewed across the place. Oh, did you see that? Let's go back a bit. That man, he booted him and then went to stab him, which is what I was on about earlier with the proper animations. I think they've smashed it with this. Look at that! Yeah. Is there another one that we can see there? Let's have a quick look at these. Yeah, they just had a bit of a sparring session. But no, they look like they've proper gone for it. And here we go. This was also hinted. You could press a few buttons on it, but you couldn't actually do it. So, claim the region. So you should be able to build another town there and then have the trading between the two and so on and so on. Hofsten, which is this one. And this is red, which could mean that there's a hostile person there. Now, on the map, you always could see the outlines of a village, and it does look like there is an outlines of a village there. It's a bit blurry in this video because it's all grayed out, because that's what happens when you click that. But now, diplomacy, you, which is the guy that we're looking at, and then the other fella. So maybe, oh, those look like the bandit people. So maybe they live there. Maybe they'll just come and give you a good slap every now and again. Ah, oh, there we go. It's not blurred now. So, it's off screen, but they will have this one. We've just claimed this, and this is the town, which I'm presuming by the hooded people is there. Interesting. And looking at here, we have the berries still, a mine. Not too sure what that one is. There's another one there. That could be stone or oh, I think they're traders. I don't know what they're doing off in the middle of the bloody woods, though. Another one over there. Oh, maybe it's some kind of resource. I'm not too sure. Here we go. Yeah, we have more combat. These look fairly organized. The banner, you create your banner at the beginning of the game, and that looks absolutely lovely. There's quite a few people there, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 different people. It's hard to say. But now, actually decent sized combat. How many people are going to be in there? 30, 40? Something like that. Oh, look at that. There you go. That is much nicer. It does look like there's more people there than... Well, to be completely honest, it definitely looks like there's more people there. There's a big army coming in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that cavalry? That'll be nice. That is cavalry. See it move? That is going to be lovely. I wonder how the animations look for that. There we go. Archer fire. Each one is individual. Firing in a nice, lovely volley. People being murdered. Hopefully the animations are as pristine as what they looked like earlier. Maybe there's a little bit of clipping, unless he's just been stabbed. It's hard to say. Oh, yeah, maybe he has just been stabbed. But no, that looks like a mess. Fantastic. And here we go. We have mini units. Oh, look. Yes, look, see. Various numbers. Each with a number count. I'm presuming the white bar is the total number. Oh, it can't be. Maybe that's morale. Because you look, there's 3 people in that one and they're not great. And they're full strength and not looking too happy. So, really, I mean, there's a lot of troops there. Maybe 200? 3? Oh, there's more. 5, 10, 15, 20, 35. 40. There's maybe 1,000 people on the battlefield here. So, there's going to be some big battles going on. That is fantastic. And currently, we've got selected these people, and we can just go blup. I quite like the little X's that shows you where each one is going to be. That's quite nice. I don't quite know what they are. They've got a big shield and maybe a stick, maybe just a bit of militia. But no, let's have a look what else we can see. That one, maybe that is pullback or stand ground. That one looks like a shield wall for protection against arrows. Or maybe more defensive. Hard to say. Or maybe it is the shield thing. That one, that looks like balanced. Maybe that's just a, a bit of a go at them a bit, but don't get too giddy. The shield might be a hold your ground defensive. And that one looks like a go for it, lads. That looks like a little bit of a castle. Maybe that's garrison. Interesting. Maybe you can garrison different parts of the wall or various other bits. That looks like maybe a spread out. That's obviously leg it, and I don't know what the hand is, but maybe they're just waving, yeah, I'm out of here. Hard to say. Again, more lovely combat. Lots of blood and death and destruction. I like his little shield. Or buckler, I think it's called. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But now this looks absolutely lovely. Yes! Well, there it is. It's coming out. Woo! I can't wait for this. I'm hoping to get some exclusive-ish access. So let's wait and see. If you did enjoy this little bit of a video, then do press that like button, please. That really helps me out. I've got a lot of life changes at the moment. Recently had a baby and got a new job, and I'm now just starting to get back into YouTube again after 2 weeks of not being able to touch it. So wonderful, yes. We do have a Discord as well if you want to come and have a chat and everything else. The link will be in the description to the video. That's always welcome to join, and I hope to see you there. And I will post that video of the gameplay that I did at the end screen of this. So if you do want to watch some demo gameplay where I went through all of it, then do feel free to watch that. Thank you very much. I hope you have a pleasant day. Have some tea, and I'll see you in a bit. Bye!